Hi, I'm Bat from Rocketman Mototech Cairns, and today we're going to run through how to put up Tune ECU to a Gen 1 Rocket 3. Come down here, have a look, we've got a 2015 Rocket 3 Touring, beautiful motorcycle.
Glamorous.
Some say one of the most beautiful motorcycles in the world. I don't know, perhaps they're right. Anyway, we'll go through the process of connecting Tune ECU to it. As per my previous award-winning video, I showed you how to take the seat off. So that's already been done, so we can just take it off. Easy as that. Put it down here on the dog's bed. It'll be safe.
Hopefully the dog doesn't chew it.
All right, let's have a look under the seat.
What do we got?
At the moment, we're looking at a standard seat arrangement with the exception of 2 extra wires, which this kook's put an additional power supply up to there. That'll probably be coming out. This bike's only been with us for a few days. We've got a few adjustments to make to it. We're running a standard air intake. That'll be being replaced with rammed air. But importantly for what we're doing today is we need access to the ECU, which is achieved through the ABD link, which is just held in this little bracket where I'm pointing my finger there. That's the link there.
Okay.
Now, on a Gen 1 Rocket 3, we don't use Bluetooth to connect, we use a physical connection, which involves using an Android, either tablet.
So you can't use an iPad?
Cannot use an iPhone, unfortunately, on them. They have to be Android.
Android,
so
yep.
Can be a phone, can be a tablet. I use a tablet just so the displays are a bit bigger and you can see what you're doing. We use a Lone Elect connector, which I get from the UK. You can buy these off eBay.
Amazon?
Probably. Costs you about $130. They come with a cable, which if you're going to, depending on what your tablet or your phone takes, that's a USB-C, although some do just use a normal USB. So that's the 3 things we need to get into the system. Set ourselves up here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put our ABD link connected together. Click it in there. Plug this thing in there. Fucking inversion in here somewhere. There it goes.
So one at each end? Yep.
And then into our Android device.
Okay.
Switch the Android device on. Open it up. Allow ECU access to this thing, which we're going to. Okay. Hit it OK again. There's an error, connection lost. OK. Okay. This is because the bike's not turned on. So we'll turn our bike on now. Hit OK. And as you can see, we've got connection. Okay, to connect to the ECU, we're going to go to ECU, connect. Select your bike. Don't worry about that. There's a better way to do this. Start the bike up. Bring the ignition on. Start the bike. Go back to ECU, connect, warning, cable is not compatible. What the fuck? Got a red flash there. green flash there, now we're connected. Okay. With the Tune ECU system, we're able to monitor the bike in real time. We've got 4 different displays. We've got a dashboard display, adjustment display, digital display. You can see we've got revs, voltage, our atmospheric pressure on our manifolds there. If we adjust the revs, it's being displayed analog. And then we've got our mapping session, which we'll get into a sec. So we'll turn the bike off. And let's go through what's happening here with the ECU. Okay, with Tune ECU, we've got a list of all of our different sensors here that we can test. We can go through them all. We can determine which ones we want to check. At the moment we've got these ones being displayed, which is throttle position, engine speed, battery voltage. We can check our voltage input from the key, air temperatures, coolant temperatures. It's all there. I suggest when you get your system up and running, you go through them and check them all. It's all easily done. Come out of there. Go back to ECU. Tests and adjustments. Well, first of all, here's a good thing. Error codes. Come back. ECU. Error codes. No error codes showing on the bike, which is good. So if there's anything that's flashing up on the bike that's emitting an error code, it will come up in this list here, and then we can get on top of it from there. Tests and adjustments. This is a list of adjustments that we can make and tests that we can do. We can test a lot of things. We can test our tack here. If you run it, okay, it's running a test in progress there now. You won't actually hear anything because this is an electrical test, and it's telling us it's okay. Our next test is our radiator fan. Now you'll actually hear this radiator fan kick in. You run it in there. There it goes. You can hear it running down the bottom there. It's testing our fans. Make sure all that's working. Everything's good there. Okay. So we can exit the test there. With the radiator fans, with the Tune ECU, depending on where we are, we can adjust our kick-in temperatures, our kick-out temperatures. We live in Cairns, far north Queensland. Obviously, we live in a fairly hotter sort of place. I generally kick the fans in at about 97 degrees up here and bring them out at about 91 degrees. Depending on where you live, you may want to variate that. If you're living in England or something like that, you may bring them in to kick them in a little bit warmer, let them come out a little bit hotter. It's up to you. It's all there to be done. Okay.
So you set it to the climate.
Set it to the climate and the way that you're riding the bike. Also, the fuel that you're using can have a bit of a difference. Higher octane fuel can make the bike operate a bit hotter. The way we set our throttles and everything up, which we'll go into a minute, and the way we run our exhaust, the bike running a little bit leaner, it can be a bit hotter as well. But basically, if you've got that, you got your fans coming in just below 100 and kicking in around about the 90s, you're going to be pretty right.
Okay.
In my opinion.
To your knowledge. That's good.
All right. So that's the basics of the ECU there. With the Rocket 3 Gen 2, we do have a little bit more variation that we can play with, and in the next video I will get into that. It's a little bit more advanced system than this is. This is the map section of this bike. So at the moment, map information, we're bringing up the actual map that's in this bike, which is 20368. This is the standard map for a 2015 Rocket Touring. If you look in here, here is a list of other maps that I have in this system for different versions of ECU control. I've got ones here for decatted, ram air, higher output, unrestricted, all that sort of stuff, which can be put into the bike. At the moment, this is running the standard map. In a future video, we will be remapping this bike, and I will run you through the process to do that. But at the moment, let's just run through what's currently on the bike. Back to map. Okay, to scroll through the maps, it's just up and down. The map is very comprehensive. It shows everything that's going on the bike: air fuel ratios, throttle position, percentages as compared to these running electric throttle, obviously. All your different gear ratios, everything. Most importantly, it's got our idle speeds. All this is adjustable here. Oopsie daisy, look at this. This is our secondary throttle positions, which is how they restrict these bikes' output in accordance to whatever countries they're being sold to. This bike's only been here a couple of days, and lo and behold, some low life's already been at this bike and unrestricted this bike. I can't believe it. Somewhere there's a butterfly crying itself to sleep tonight because somebody has decided that they don't want to comply with emission compliance laws. It makes me sick. Anyway, we'll leave that for now, but that'll give you what I could do is I could bring you up by opening a map. We'll find a standard map here. We'll open a standard map, which this bike should have in it, legally, of course. And we'll have a look here. And there in front of you is the legal compliances for this bike, which gives it a maximum, just let me check my glasses here, gives it a maximum output of 71%.
Okay, so maybe put that bit closer so I can get...
71% is the maximum output that this bike should legally emit. In Australia, it changes per country. And as I said before, I don't know who's done this. The security cameras haven't been working in the last sort of couple of days, so we don't know who's been in here frigging about with this, but some arsehole's been in here and opened this thing up to 100%.
Do you know anything about it, Jake?
Possibly this one here. He knows more about computers than you think.
He's a security dog.
All right. Okay. So we come back out of there. Basically, that's, without getting into the remaps, which we'll do in another video, that's how we connect the ECU, Tune ECU to the bike. On a Gen 1, it's done through a cable. Must be done with an Android. Gen 1s can be done with a PC, I believe, although that does require a different setup. A Gen 2 cannot use a PC or Apple. It can only use Android, and the Gen 1 uses Android. So when you go to set yourself up, I would recommend set yourself up with an Android tablet so you can actually see what's going on. Only use the Lone Elect connection. That seems to be the one that works. There is cheaper versions, but they don't seem to work that well. And that'll get you in business. So any questions, just put them below in the comments and I'll get back to you. But it's that simple to connect them. When I put this back, I always give these connections a bit of a spray with a little bit of WD-40. WD-40's non-conductive. Just keep them nice and clean, not too much, and then just put it back in its bracket and it's right to go. All right, hope that helps you. That's how you connect the Tune ECU to a Gen 1 Rocket 3.
So what's the next video?
Next video we'll connect to Gen 2.
Okay.
All right, thanks for that. Have a good day.
Same, see you.